Welcome to the Portugal primary market session by Klave. And we're going to talk about primary market, meaning off-plan properties. I'm Patrick, Klave CEO. I'm here with Felipe and Fernanda. And why buying during the construction sometimes is the smartest way to enter the Portuguese real estate market. Okay, so let's go. First of all, we're going to talk about why off-plan. This is the first topic of the agenda. Then we're going to present you some projects that we chose, that we handpicked to present to you in this session. Third, we're going to talk about the new Portuguese real estate cycle. So why the momentum is perfect to invest in Portugal. And at last, we're going to explain to you how you can do it. Today, it's going to be a shorter webinar compared to the other sessions because let's say that we have a more objective session today, and we're going to start now. Just before we start, most of you here already know Klave. Klave is a real estate company based in Porto and Lisbon. We have more than 6 years of experience here. We already had more than 17 million euros invested through our company, with more than 70 properties acquired during this time. The average yield that the clients are doing right now, only with the rent, is around 10% per year. And we manage today close to 60 properties. I can see from the names here in the webinar that we have a lot of clients participating. So you know already our company, but also for the new ones, I can see also some people here that did the ID or the passport with us, which is something that we also do. We had more than 7,000 passports during this time for Israeli clients mostly. So I'm Patrick, I'm a lawyer, I'm the CEO of Klave, and Felipe, my partner, he's the economist and he's the COO. Okay, Felipe, do you want to speak a few words?
Yeah, I want for everyone send a message in the chat. I'm here taking all the wall, and when we start in the questions and answer in the end, we will reply all the questions.
Yeah. So please write in the chat all the questions you have, and we're gonna answer to all of them at the end. Okay. So the first topic, which is why buying off plan, we're gonna present you the advantages of this kind of strategy. And as I said, basically you buy something during the launch of the development or even before, okay? And during the construction, it's gonna appreciate, so it's gonna grow in value until the delivery. During this time, usually when you buy off plan, you pay something around 20 to 30% less of the price that the apartment will be worth by the time it's delivered. Okay, usually it takes around 2 to 3 years, and this is important because you're not gonna wait a long time. I know that in some countries, especially in Israel, sometimes you buy something for the next 5 6 years. Here in Portugal, this strategy is aimed at around 2 to 3 years. Okay, so you buy something during the construction, and within 2 to 3 years, you are going to the development will be delivered. And during this time, the apartment is growing in value. So what are the advantages? First of all, you buy something new. So you're buying a brand new property. And this is very important because in Portugal, a lot of properties are old. And I mean like very old, like hundreds of years old. And when you buy something off plan, you're going to have a brand new property that will compete, let's say, with these old properties, and it's going to stand out. So the new properties in Portugal, they are not, let's say, they're not the most common. So when you buy something brand new, you're going to have something different from the market. So you're going to have a better efficiency, energetic efficiency. You're going to have brand new equipment, quality finishings, good isolation for the temperature or for the noise, and so on. So this is really important because the property will only grow year after year. Then you have a staged payment plan, meaning that you pay only usually only between 20 and 40% from your pocket, and the rest will be at the deed. So at the deed, you can get a mortgage to pay the rest, but during the construction, you have a payment plan that usually something like 10% at the beginning, 10% after 6 months, and then 10% in another 6 months, something like that. It will vary according to the project, but the most important is that you don't have to pay all the amount to start. Then the appreciation from launch to delivery, as I said, when you buy something during the construction or before they start building, it's only going to grow until they deliver it. So, as I said, you're going to pay something around 20 to 30% less than the final price of the property, plus the appreciation of the area. And as we're going to show today, we are aiming to areas with growth at least 10% per year, sometimes even 20% per year. Then we can negotiate directly with the developer. So we have already a few developers that we trust, and they're doing good jobs here in Portugal, good projects, and they can start with very cheap apartments up to apartments more expensive. So you don't need a lot of money to do this strategy. You don't need a lot of money to start, and we can negotiate directly with the developer, which gives us more room to negotiate. And lastly, we have access before public launch, so we can access this property even before they go to the market. Okay, we are now buying several properties directly with the developer before they announce it to the public in general. And this is really important because when they go to the public in general, they are already more expensive. So as I said, the leverage here is you pay something around 20 to 40% from your pocket. It's going to vary depending on the development, but we have some opportunities here starting with 20%, and you can finance the rest of the amount with the bank if you need a mortgage. And you only need to pay the rest at the deed. Okay, so the amount from your pocket will be staged. As we said, you're going to pay in phases, and the rest you're going to pay at the deed, and you can get a mortgage. Usually, when you get a mortgage, let's say in 2 years from now, when the development is ready, you can use the rent to pay the mortgage. Okay, it's pretty simple and pretty clear what you can do. And of course, Klave will be assisting you and showing you all the numbers, how it works, negotiation, and etc. Then once you buy it, you have two ways out. One, the exit, meaning you can sell the property before it's ready, okay? And the second is holding, meaning you're gonna buy the property at the end. We're gonna explain both strategies right now. The exit strategy is called the assignment of position. So basically, let's say you buy the property in 2026, okay, the apartment is worth 250,000. You only have to pay 50,000, which is 20%. And then you don't have to do anything until 2028. You just wait until 2028. By 2028, it's going to be near the completion, which is 29. So it's going to be more or less around 1 year before completion. And this apartment will be worth probably minimum 300,000 euros. Okay. And then you can choose to sell this property, which is called the assignment of position. We have done it several times here for other clients. So it's a very safe and very profitable strategy. So when you sell it, the apartment is worth 300,000 euros, meaning that it's 50,000 more valuable than you paid. So you started with 50,000 from your pocket, and you're going to leave with 100,000, meaning 50,000 profit. Okay? This means 100% return in only 2 years. Okay, this is a very good strategy, especially because it's very, very difficult to find investments that return 100% in 2 years. So the exit strategy is really interesting. And after you pay the 50,000 here as down payment, you don't have to do anything. You just have to wait until 28, 29, and then selling it for the price. Sometimes it's going to be even more valuable than 300,000, so you can make even more money. But here, let's assume this conservative valuation of 300,000. Then you have the second strategy, which is holding or keeping the property. So you buy now in 2026, you pay the same 50,000 down payment. By 2028, it's still gonna grow in value, but then you can decide to keep it because you like the property, you want to use it for renting, and you want to have the property for the future. And we're gonna help you with the mortgage if you need a mortgage, with the deed, everything, 100% remote. Okay. So I see your question, Yoav. Yoav is asking if you need an approval of the mortgage before buying. No, you don't need the approval of the mortgage before paying the in 2026. You're gonna need the mortgage approval by 2029 by the time of the deed. Okay, you don't need the mortgage before. This is the good thing about buying off plan. You don't have to worry about a mortgage right now. You just have to put the 50K and forget it. By 29, we're gonna do the mortgage for you. Once we start renting the property, in our business plan, we can show you this how it works. But basically, the rental income usually covers at least part of the mortgage, but sometimes you also have a profit. Okay. The mortgage, you can get up to 80% financing, earning in Israel or in the US. I see there are a lot of people from the United States here. So if you have income from the United States or from Brazil, from Dubai, from Israel, whatever, you can still get the mortgage. This is really important. The Euribor, which is the interest rate due to the war in Iran, it's a bit higher. It's 2.5% per year. But now with the peace agreement, probably it's going to return to the average, which is 2%. The fixed rates are around 3.3% per year. The fixed rates means the interest rate plus the spread. Okay, so this is the mortgage rate. At the end of the day, this is the mortgage rate. 3.3% per year, which is really, really good. And as I said, even if you don't live here, you qualify. Even if you have earnings in outside of Europe, you also qualify. And the process is 100% remote. Now we're going to present to you a few opportunities handpicked by us. And every project on the list was selected based on the criteria of location, the developer, if it has a good track record, if they deliver good works, the construction quality, meaning the finishing maps, and also depending on the developer, the price they're asking for the quality they're delivering, and then the return potential based on all the other factors. The first properties we're going to show, they are in Vila Nova de Gaia, which is in Greater Porto, and this area is growing more or less 1% per month. For the last 3 months, it grew 35%. In the last 12 months, it grew 12%. Okay? So this is an area that will grow even more right now because they're finishing a metro line. And I can see a lot of clients here, they already have properties near this metro line in Gaia. They're still building the metro line. And as you guys know, these clients already know, this area will grow even more until 2030 when it's supposed to deliver the new metro line with the new high-speed train and so on. So this is the first project in Gaia, and it starts from 160,000, the price of the apartment. It's a studio with a garage, okay? You have other apartments there. You have T1 for 200,000, you have T2 for 250. So you have a lot of options here, and you only need 30% as down payment. So you only need from your pocket 48,000. And in this project, you need to pay right now 20, and only next year you pay 10%. So you're going to pay now 20%, and next year you pay 10%. And the rest, the 70% left, you pay at the deed. This project is really interesting because it has clubhouse, balcony, gym, co-living, co-working, parking. So this is very suitable for families, which is the most the type of people coming to Portugal right now from everywhere. They are coming with families to live here. So also for young people, young couples, and so on. So this project, let's say, if you want to start small, this is perfect for you. It's very good finishing maps, very good location, close to the sea, in an area that is growing 15% per year. Then we have this other project. Yeah, Felipe.
Hey, Patrick, only to because we are talking about now about the payments that you need to do when you buy something in the primary markets. Yanai just asked us about the if they need to pay some tax now or you pay only in the deed. And the Rony asked if they can't get the mortgage in Portugal, what is the process?
Okay. I'm going to start with Ronnie question about the mortgage. Ronnie, if you cannot get a mortgage, it's better to do the exit strategy, meaning that you're gonna pay now the down payment, you wait until 28, 29, and then you sell it, and then you get the profit. Okay, this is if you don't want to take the mortgage or if you cannot take the mortgage. Okay, regarding what Yanai asked, the taxes you pay, Yanai, are only at the deed. Okay, meaning that if you sell it before, you don't have to pay the taxes. Now, there is a new law here in Portugal that they're gonna take the profit that you made with these, let's say in the example of 50,000 profit, you're gonna pay 6% of the profit. 6%. It's very low profit tax in this case. So this is what you're gonna pay regarding taxes if you sell the property. If you keep the property, you pay the IMT and the taxes that you pay at the deed. Okay. So this is the Tetris project. It starts with 206,000 euros. Also with a garage. It's a T0 plus one with 46 square meters. And the building has clubhouse, gym, co-living, co-working, parking, and so on. You need from your pocket 40%, which is 82,400 euros. Okay, this is also really good because it's really close to the new metro line. The project looks really nice, and this one is about to finish by next year. So this one it's supposed to finishing more or less the end of the next year. So then we have Quadra. Quadra is a really interesting project because you have the Douro River view, and we already bought several units on this building for other clients. We like a lot the architecture, the finishing maps, the view, the location. So this is a very, very good project. It's very close to Porto, very close near the new metro line, the Douro River. Uh, and then you have the parking again, the private outdoor space, and so on. In this one, the prices start with 290,000. They have 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, and 3 bedroom apartments, and the down payment is only 35%. Okay, meaning 101,500 euros to start, and this is also staged. So you're gonna pay 20% now and 15% next year. Now we're gonna see some options in Greater Lisbon. So we're not talking about the old center of Lisbon. We're talking about the around areas, which grew 54%, as you can see here. And this movement is caused because a lot of people are leaving the centers and going to the areas around the centers. This happens in Porto, in Lisbon, and so on. So the area around Lisbon grew 54% in the last 3 years, and 16% in the last 12 months. So it's growing exponentially, and it's going to keep growing for sure. This is the development called Alto do Tejo in Carnaxide. Carnaxide is between between Lisbon and Cascais. Okay, it's very near the river, very close to Lisbon, 10 minutes from Lisbon by car, and it's growing a lot because, as I said, a lot of people are leaving the centers and going to the areas around. So this one starts with 380,000. Also has balcony, parking, but the most important here, you only pay 20%. So you're gonna pay now 76,000, and that's it. You pay nothing more until the completion, which is really good because in the future, if you want to sell it, it's gonna be much easier to find a buyer, and you're gonna profit even more. Okay, because you only put 20% from your pocket, the rest is due until the deed. We have also this project called Prata in Marvila. Marvila is the area very close to the Tagus River. Actually, this project, they have a river view. Okay, you can see, as you can see here in the image, the Tagus River. It's really close to the airport of Lisbon, and also to the city center. They have T1, T1 meaning one bedroom. Okay, the T, for people who are new here, the T is the number of bedrooms, and you pay 30% down payment, meaning 150,000 euros. This is a high-end development with the river view. That's why the price per square meter here is a little bit higher than the other ones. But this one is a project that will grow for sure because this area is growing every year around 20%. And with the river view, you always have people that wants to stay there, especially because it's a high-end development. Then we have Setúbal. Some of you that are here, some of you already have properties in Setúbal, also because we speak about Setúbal a lot, as you know. And because Setúbal is growing very, very much every year, and it has beautiful landscapes. It's close to Lisbon, so we really like the area of Setúbal, and the price per square meter there is still very accessible. Like it grew 48% in the last 36 months. So this is already what I'm saying about the exponential growth of Setúbal. But as you can see in the graph, it's a steady growth. Okay, it's growing steady. It's almost like a straight line, growing every year, around 30% in the last 12 months. This project, it's called Muralha, in the old center of Setúbal, from 294,000. Okay, they have studios up to T3 apartments, and the down payment is 30%. So you pay in this project around 88,000 from your pockets, and the rest at the deed. Prime location in the middle of the old center of Setúbal, which is growing a lot. We have a few developments there from Klave as well. Balcony and high quality finishes. Then we have this project in Montijo. Montijo is where the new airport will be. The new airport of Lisbon will be in Montijo. And this project is really close to the new airport. So it's starting in 410,000 euros. It's 20 minutes from Lisbon. You just have to cross the bridge. The typology is T2 and T3 apartments, good areas, 156 square meters to 320 square meters, with down payment of 30% and the rest of the deed. We can phase these payments. You don't have to pay the 30% right now. You can pay 10, 10, and 10, or 10 and 20, something like that. We have also balcony, private parking, high quality finishes. All these projects, they're going to be delivered within 2 to 3 years, okay? So you have time to buy right now to pay the down payment and forget about it in 2 years. This is what we're doing for many, many clients now. And as you see, the exit strategy in this case can return around 100% return in only 2 years. So why right now is the best time to invest in Portugal? Okay. Basically, there are a few things happening in Portugal. We already had a webinar about these changes recently, I think 1 month ago or 2 months ago, where we talked about the fiscal reform. They already approved the fiscal reform. Okay, it's already happening. It's out there. It's approved. It's published. It's valid. We have the favorable credit, which we already explained. You can get mortgage up to 80% with fixed rates around 3.3% per year. And we have major infrastructure investments all over the country for many reasons. And I'm going to show you these changes. So the fiscal reform, basically the rental income tax dropped from 25 to only 10%. So now you put more money in your pocket coming from the return from the rental. You also have profit tax exemptions, new profit tax exemptions. You have a simpler eviction process. We never had to use any eviction against any tenants because we do a very true system to avoid bad tenants in our apartments. So we never had to do this process. But right now, it's much more easier if you need to evict someone. So less taxes, more income. Then the infrastructure. Right now, Portugal is receiving a lot of funds from the European Union. Okay. In 2030, they're going to do the World Cup between Porto and Spain. So they are now doing a lot of high-speed rails between Portugal and Spain. It's going to be possible to go from Porto to Lisbon in 1 hour and 15 minutes. They are also building the new Lisbon International Airport, as I said, in Montijo, close to Setúbal. And they are investing a lot in the expansion of the city center. So Lisbon and Porto, right now, if you came to Lisbon or Porto recently, you probably saw a lot of work, a lot of renovation. And this is because they are renovating all the public transportation system, especially the metro. As the Prime Minister said, infrastructure investment is key to strengthening Portugal's long-term economic competitiveness. So basically, the country right now is very focused on developing the country, primarily using the European Union funds. And it's a lot of money that the European Union is investing in Portugal and Spain right now to improve the connection to the rest of Europe. So how Klave supports our clients? Basically, we handle everything from start to finish. We're going to do the proper research. And besides the one we showed in this presentation, there is always something new. There is always new developments, even in different locations. So our job is to find the best opportunities for our clients. We do a financial plan to explain why those are the best opportunities and why those are the best investments. We're going to show you all the numbers. So we're going to prove to you how much the area is growing, the price per square meter, how much you can get from the rent, and how much it's going to be worth by the time it's delivered, and so on. So you can make the decision with all the data you need. Then we have the due diligence. I'm a lawyer, but we also have a team of lawyers checking the documents from the developer, the documents from the licenses from the land. We also work with architects and engineers from our team to check the finishing maps, all the criteria of the development, so the materials, the deliverables. So this is our job to check, to do the due diligence, to check all these projects that we are offering to you. And then the CPCV, which is the contract of purchase, the promising contract, in which you pay the down payment. Okay, and this CPCV, this contract, has all the important information regarding the payment, regarding the unit, the finishing maps, and so on. After that, you have the two ways out, two ways out, as we said, the exit, and then you have the profit, or the acquisition, which you can get a mortgage or not, is up to you, and the management. The whole process remote. Okay, I see here lots of clients and lots of new people as well. The ones that are already our clients, they know how we work, and we are very, very serious. And with for the new people as well, if you want to talk to old clients, is always a pleasure. Yeah, Felipe.
Yes, I enjoy that you are talking about this because we have a question about how we open the bank account online, if it is possible, or if the client need to come to Portugal to sign some papers.
No, we can do it remotely as well. The bank account, all the process. Okay, you don't need to come for the project. You don't need to come for the bank account. You don't need to come for the mortgage, for the CPCV, for the anything, for the deed, for the management. We actually, most of our clients, they never came to Portugal to see the properties. They came for vacation, etc., but they never came to for the properties or for the investment. So basically, everything we're talking about here, it's possible to do it remotely. Okay, and it doesn't matter if you are living in Israel, in the United States, in Brazil, Jamaica, whatever. It's possible to do it. Don't worry, we're gonna take care for you remotely. So, as I was saying, you don't need to come to Portugal. We do the whole process remotely, and we're gonna report to you. We're gonna support you throughout before and after, of course, the purchase. And as Barbara Corcoran said, and now we are heading to the end. Don't wait to buy real estate. Buy real estate and wait. Now we are doing a big announcement today, which is we are building a community on WhatsApp because now we have many clients and new people that want to get to know more about the market, more information, insights, trends, news, so on. So if you scan the QR code, you're going to be the first ones to join the community. We are launching it right now, and we're going to receive exclusive off-market investment opportunities. It's free. Uh, Only the admin can send messages, so it's not going to be a very crowded room with a lot of people talking. It's only us sending you all the insights, the trends, the exclusive off-market opportunities, and we're going to send them every week. Okay, it's not every day. We're going to pick the best opportunities, and we're going to inform to you every week. So just scan the QR code on the screen, and you're going to be redirected to the WhatsApp. It's the same QR code. If you want to join the community, it's here. In the meantime, we're going to answer to all the questions you have. So guys, please feel free to send everything on the chats.
Patrick, I separate some questions here. The first one is from Jonathan. Here asking about when you said about the apartment size, if this is brut, net, the balcony, the park, and we have the same question, but talking about what the importance of the properties that have amenities like gym, clubhouse, co-working, how this is can help them to rent the property after or to sell and get more profit in this purchase.
Okay. Thank you, Jonathan, for the question. So the area of the apartment is gross area. Okay. It's gross area inside the apartment. It doesn't count the garage. It's only the area of the apartment itself, and it's the gross area of the apartment, not the net area. Here in Portugal, the square meter they use for the like to count the price per square meter and so on, it's the gross area inside the apartment. Okay. Thank you, Jonathan. And the other question about the amenities. So the amenities, they are really important because it's not common in Portugal. So basically, right now, if you want to buy an apartment that is not new, it's not gonna have they're not going to have these amenities. They're not going to have a clubhouse. Sometimes they don't have a garage. Okay. Sometimes they don't have balconies. The let's say the facade is not new, so the isolation, the energetic efficiency of the property is not very good because they're old and the parameters were different at the time. So the new properties in, let's take 20, 30 years from now, they're still going to be good. Now, the old properties, not always. So that's why buying something off plan gives you the safety of buying something that will always, always grow. And it's going to be even 20 years from now, 30 years from now, it's going to be a good property. Okay, so the amenities like co working, uh, co-living, amenities like gym, balcony, parking, clubhouse, sometimes paddle courts, pool, etc. This all of these they add up to the value of the property, and it's really important if you consider in the long term and also for renting this property. When you rent this type of property for families, it's like it's all the amenities the families are looking for. They have young kids, so they need outdoor area for the kids like a garden, private garden. They also have busy work, so busy schedule, so they have a gym inside the building. It's really important. They have a parking, so with for people with cars, it's really important. So when you are renting this property, it's also really, really important to have these amenities as well.
Jonathan sent a message again asking us to send the presentation in the group. We will send in the group, and tomorrow we will send a newsletter for everyone that participate with the presentation, and we record the webinar. We will send the record for you if you'd like to watch or share this with friends and family. We have more one question here from Amir that about the down payment in the primary market. You need to do this all in the same time, like you do the all the down payment when you sign the CPCV, or you need to do some installments along the building.
Okay, thank you, Amir, for the question. So the payments usually they are phased according to the construction. Okay, every development is different, but what is the most common here? Usually, you pay at the CPCV around 10-20%, and then I will give you three examples, recent examples, okay, of real like these developments that we showed, but also from other developments that we did recently, that we acquired recently. One of them was 10% now at the CPCV, 10% in 6 months from now, okay, and 10% in another 6 months. But the 6 months, the condition was that they finished the foundation, and the other 6 months, they had to finish the structure. So if they don't finish the foundation, you don't have to pay until they finish it. Now, there is another example. The client paid right now 15%, and 1 year from now, another 15%, and the rest of the deed. And there is another case where the client paid 20% now, and that's it. He didn't pay anything until the deed. So every development is different, but usually this is how it works. You pay a percentage now and a percentage later, or all the payments now, and all the rest at the deed. Most of the cases, you don't have to pay more than 60% for the apartment. Okay, in these cases that we are aiming at, our goal is that you pay only 20 or 30% from start, maximum if it's a good project 40%. Now if you tell me, look, I have my budget is 50,000, okay, we're gonna find something for you that you only have to pay 50,000. So the most important is that you give us your budget, and we are going to find something that matches your budget and your goals. If you tell me, look, guys, I need I have 50,000. I want to buy something, and by 2028, I want to sell it and have earn the profit. We're gonna find something exactly like this for you.
Great. Danny sent us a question that is, what is the tax that he need to pay when they buy the property, when they sign the deed? What is the taxes and the amount?
Okay. Hey Benny, my friend, how are you doing? Good to hear from you. So the basically when you sign it, you don't have to pay the taxes, as I said. And at the deed, when the deed is signed by 20, let's say 2028 or 2029, when they finish the construction and they set up the deed, you have to pay the IMT and the IS, okay, which are in total around 7.5% with the new law. However, if you rent the property, they return half of this amount to you. Okay. So at the end of the day, I'm going to sum it up for you. You pay around 8% at the deed of taxes, only at the deed. You don't pay anything now, only when it's ready and delivered. You pay 8% of the property value. But if you put it for the long-term contract, long-term rent, the tax authority returns half of this amount for you. Okay, so at the end, what you pay is around 4% of the property value.
Great. Yoav asking about the Klave's commission to the total of the price. And if you'd like explain as well what will you do in this service, will be good.
Okay, Yav, thank you for the question. So what Klave charges for handling all this process remotely is 3%, and this is a special price for this webinar. 3% of the property value, okay? And this is including everything: the lawyer, the authentications, opening the bank account, the CPCV, the power of attorney, because we're going to need the power of attorneys to sign it remotely, the business plan, and so on. Okay. But one important thing about this 3% is that you pay only 70% now of the 3%, and 30% at the end when the deed comes. Okay.
Patrick, this is the last question. I would like thank you everyone that it's the participate. Like I said before, tomorrow I will send a newsletter with the presentation, with the video in the YouTube, if you'd like to share with friends and family. And we are available if you'd like mark a call, and if you'd like send us I invite to do a meeting with you to explain everything. We will be able to do it, and all question and answer all questions and doubt about the process. Send a message to us, send an email that we will reply quickly.
Thank you everyone for participating. Now you have 10 minutes to drink some water and go support Portugal in the World Cup. So have a good night and looking forward to see you all soon. Okay. Thank you and take care. Bye bye.
Have a good night, everyone. Thank you.